Another truck arrives at the mill, this time from Slovakia. A sample is taken from its load of wheat. On the whole, the Thüringer Mühlenwerker mill only buys its grain locally, but this year it's accepting deliveries from Slovakia, the Czech Republic, and Poland. Dieter Mühlschlegel was forced to look further afield for supplies after last summer's heavy rains destroyed local crops. Laboratory tests show that the local wheat is no good for baking bread. We asked the mill owner if he'd ever experienced such a bad harvest in the past.
In my 20 years in the business, I can't recall such an extensive bad harvest with so little wheat suitable for baking.
In Germany, it was too wet, and in Russia, it was too hot. But the demand for wheat continues to rise. As a result, prices have doubled in the space of 12 months. But Mühlschlegel says the price hike is not just due to the fact that there's less to go around.
I think speculation and speculators have a lot to do with it, because share prices shot up really quickly. And the only way to push share prices up that fast is with huge amounts of money, because at that time, mills were still perfectly able to meet demand.
But times change. When Mühlschlegel invested in his new mill 8 years ago, prices were stable and contracts were long-term. These days, the wheat industry is less predictable. Investors bet vast sums of money on rising or falling markets. And when supply is low, the market becomes a particularly fertile ground for speculators.
It really distorts the markets. It can either go up really quickly or suddenly plummet. And that's the difficulty we're facing. We can't assess anything properly anymore. Nothing is familiar, nothing is foreseeable. Not even those with experience can evaluate the market, because speculators in the world of finance are unpredictable.
At the moment, food in Germany is still cheap. Supermarkets sell a kilogram packet of flour for 25 cents. But such prices are the products of old contracts, and Mühlschlegel can no longer afford to sell for so little. He thinks comestibles are about to get more expensive.
Price increases are part of all new negotiations. Grain is not only used to make flour and bread, but it's also the raw material for the animal feed industry. So animals being reared for meat will become more expensive, milk will become more expensive. Grain is the basic material for so many things.
On average, Germans only spend 10% of their income on food. For people in poorer countries where incomes are lower, the food is comparatively expensive. Mühlschlegel thinks the demand for grain will continue to grow.
We have to live with the fact that we need 2.5 kilos of grain for 1 kilo of chicken meat. For pork, we need 4 kilos, and for beef, 7. It's going to be a big issue. If every person in China were to eat just 1 more chicken a year, we would need that much more grain.
And even if that doesn't happen, grain is still a firm favorite with consumers and speculators alike.